First, a real warning. This is education only. Shorting can also lose you an unlimited amount of money, so be very careful. So normally buying means you're going to bet it's going to go up, and shorting means you're going to bet it's going to drop. That's the difference between the two. Normally you buy low, shorting flips it. So you want to bet when it drops. How does shorting work? Okay, so shorting allows you to borrow shares, sell now, and then plan to buy back lower. So you get shares from a broker at today's price, and then you buy back for cheaper later. You keep the difference. So it's super simple. You borrow shares, you sell now, and then you plan to buy at a lower price. So when you sell into a position, the way you get out of that position is by buying. So if I short one contract and let's say the stock drops, then I want to buy back in, allowing me to get out of that position. I know it sounds kind of complicated, but think of it like a bike, right? You sell a bike for $100 and then you rebuy it for $60. You profit the difference and you keep the $40. But what if it rises? If it rises, for example, if the bike jumps to 150, you still have to buy it back to exit the position. So you lose $50. In this case, you lose the difference. Now that's a 150, you sold it for 100, it's a $50 loss. Let's talk about floor versus no ceiling. When you are working with a normal stock, the floor is $0. It cannot go lower than $0. However, a short has no ceiling, meaning it could keep rising, and essentially your losses is unlimited because the stock could go up to an infinite number. So it is very risky. So you have to be very careful. So the main difference is if you're buying, you are limited in loss. You can only lose what you spend. But if you're shorting, the risk is unlimited. So question of the video, can you short on Robinhood? The answer is yes. Robinhood has added it, but with a little bit of requirements. So for you to be able to short, you need your account to be a margin account. If you don't know what a margin account is, essentially they are borrowing money to you. It's a safety requirement. Whereas if you were in a cash account, they wouldn't let you short on Robinhood. And you need to have at least 2,000 minimum to be able to short. And you need to be a paid tier as well. So you need to be one of those tiers to even have access to shorting. Again, because the risk is unlimited, they need to do this. Otherwise, so many people would lose a lot of money. Now remember, requirement 1 is a margin account, not a cash account. Okay. Margin account is required. With a margin account, a broker borrows you money. So you're playing with their money. Requirement 2, you usually need to have at least 2,000 to use margin. It's the minimum to use margin. So if you don't have that, you won't be able to short on Robinhood. Requirement 3, you need to be on a paid tier. It's a staged rollout. They're releasing it little by little, but they're releasing it to their members first. So by the time you watch this video, it might already be out. I would recommend just checking that out. Now, one of the things that you need to know if you are wanting to short on Robinhood, if it runs against you, the broker can close it for you. So because you're playing with their money without warning, they can easily close your position. And at the end of the day, it's because you're not really using your money, you're using their money. But with Robinhood, this is one of the requirements that needs to happen. So be aware. Borrow fees and margin interest do stack up while you wait. So it does cost money to hold on to positions just because of that borrower fee and margin interest. And a lot of people don't see that. So keep an eye on that. The short flow exists, but like here's the real advice. The steps and then the stops. 1, you want to enable margin account. 2, find a stock you think drops. And then 3, you want to place a short sale. And then 4, you want to buy it back to close. But wait, here's my real advice. There's a smarter way. Skip real shorting as a beginner because there's a safer path. What's that safer path? Meet the put. Put is essentially a bet that a stock will go down and has limited loss. And that's using options. A put bets a stock falls with loss cap at what you pay. So if the position is $100, that's the max that you can lose. And you're able to time in the market and profit from a drop. So same goal, but less danger. Short has unlimited risk and a put caps it. In my opinion, puts win. That is my advice. If you want to learn to short, learn to just profit from a put. Like side by side, the put column is all green compared to the short column. Your loss is unlimited. You need margin. And although both profit from a stock dropping, one is for big players. People who short have a lot of money, have a lot of capital, and they're okay with losing it. If you are a beginner trader and you want to learn to just profit from a stock falling down, go the put route. That's my advice. I have a lot of videos on this channel going over how to buy a put and some really cool tips to making sure that every time you do buy a put, you buy the right one and you don't buy the wrong one, because that does happen a lot. Experienced traders use it with strict rules. Strict rules is what's going to keep you in the game. It's a tool that you grow into. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. It's a tool that you grow into. Okay, it's okay to not be able to have the right risk management right away, but it's a tool that you will grow into. So pros, they use it carefully. Think about using it carefully. Think about learning how to use it. It's important to know all the tools so you can pick the right tool. Short is powerful, but it hurts fast and it costs a lot. A put is safer while you learn, but also does the same thing. Being able to know how to do both is important, but knowing which one to use is even greater. So step one, you want to open up options. So on the stock, tap trade and then trade options. And then you want to go ahead and buy a put. You have the option to sell a put as well, but I won't really go into that. All you got to do is tap buy and then tap put. Then you want to pick a date, weeks out, and a strike that's near the current stock price. That's very important because it does affect the cost, but you really want to pick smart. And this is what I meant by me having videos that are going to give you an advantage. You need to know the expiration date, the right expiration date. Often my advice is just go 1 or 2 weeks out, potentially, depending on what your budget is, you could go longer. Not today. Don't get contracts that expire the same day because you're going to get clapped. And then the strike, you want to make sure you get it near the current stock price, not a cheaper one. A rookie mistake is people that go way above or way below. If you're doing puts, it's way below the strike price, and they get one that's really cheap because they think, well, it's cheap. Oftentimes when you do that, you will lose money. So be careful. They're cheap for a reason. Step 4 is to check the cost. So one option covers 100 shares. So you want to multiply it by 100. So one contract equals 100 shares. You want to keep it small. The price that you pay times 100 is the real cost. A capped risk bearish bet placed calmly is the correct way to do it. It's done calmly. Capped risk is gonna make it so you're not fearful in the trade. When you're fearful, you will make mistakes. Let's talk about some of those potential mistakes. Mistake 1, real shorting with no plan and no risk sense. That's a huge mistake 80% of traders will do when they're shorting. They don't understand the risk. Remember, you can lose everything when you're shorting. So have a plan, have a stop loss, and have a take profit. Never should you ever leave a short unattended. Might as well just donate that money to me now. Mistake number 2, a down day can bounce and punish a short. What does this mean? This means that even a short-term bounce can affect that put because that put is temporary or that short. So even though it's maybe a temporary bounce, it will affect you heavily. Free money, that doesn't exist. Mistake 3 is your fees and interest quietly eat up your profit. A lot of people are too focused on the trade itself and they don't realize how much they're being charged in fees and interest. Sometimes your profit will get eaten up by fees and interest when you actually have the money in front of you. You'll feel like you made a $1,000 trade, but by the time you look at what's actually on your account, it's much less than what you thought you made. A winning short that barely made anything. So mistake 3, just don't ignore the fees. Understand that every time you go in a trade, you will be charged a fee, and don't ignore the fees. Mistake 4 is the same day or bar strike losses to time decay. It is very important to know what time decay is. Every day that passes results in your contract losing more and more value. So you don't want to buy a contract that is same day expiration because it's essentially lost all its value. That or far away strike prices. They're cheap for a reason. Again, they're cheap for a reason. Weeks out or near the stock price is the realistic way to make money on a put. That is a good put. Time and near the price is a good put. Bad put, same day expiration and far away strike price. So always make sure when you are trading a put, keep in mind that you need to have both weeks out and near the price, near the stock price. That would be the best possible scenario for you to increase your odds in having a successful put. Mistake 5 is no reason. No reason. You're not entering a trade because you see an entry. You're entering a trade because you want to be in a trade. I feel like it's going to drop. I've seen this before. Bearish pattern. Those words, be very mindful of what your thoughts are when trading. That is not a real plan. If that is your plan for entering a position, don't enter the position. A real plan is a level, news, a trend, and your exit. Now, there are many traders that don't even trade news, don't even trade trends, or they have their own different types of trading styles. They all have exits and entries, and they have levels that they watch out for. As long as you have that, you at least have something, a plan. Let's recap. Shorting, you borrow shares to bet it's going to fall. It's got unlimited risk, and you need a margin account, and a broker can close you out at any moment. Shorting is powerful, but not a beginner tool. Powerful, but not for beginners. For beginners, start with puts, same payoff direction, loss capped at whatever you spend on the play. That way you don't lose everything. You learn to enter a bearish market or a bearish trend and profit from it without stressing about losing your whole account. Look, I'm honest here. Subscribe here for plain English, no mumble jumble, real risk talk. If you have more concepts you want to deeper dive on, please comment them below and think of subscribing to the channel.